Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we say goodbye to Yellowstone as we talk about season 5, episodes 13 and 14. For the record, it only says episode 14, so I was like, fuck 13, but we got time, so we're gonna get into why we hate episode 13, and then we'll talk about the good parts of 14. But that's what we're gonna do. But anyway, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to this channel. You can like on the video and comment on the video, share the video. What'd you think about Taylor Sheridan riding a horse in a circle for like 45 minutes? We're gonna talk about all that kind of stuff. But anyway, sit back, enjoy the intro, and then we'll start the show. Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, we are. It's a happy and sad day as we say goodbye to Yellowstone. A very great series overall. And I do want to start with the positive. I actually like the ending of 14, so I want to start with the positives of 14, and then we will shit on 13 once we get done, because I hate that episode. So anyway, positives. Does anyone have positives about either episode? Really, I guess. But the ending. What y'all think of the ending? Anybody? Chris. Positives, Chris.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a positive. I mean, it's very predictable type positive in the sense of going back to the Native American. But I mean, if it would have ended a different way, I guess I would have been upset in a sense. Like, no, like that's the 7th generation. It needs to go back to the people. You know what I mean? To the Native people. So that's good. If they are going to do a 4/6 show, I like that now. Tater is going to be part of it. So because I like her character, so I think that's pretty cool that she'll be on board with it potentially. If they are still want to move ahead with the 4/6s, I know it got lots of got a little bit jumbled up. And I, even though some of the journeys afterwards were kind of like iffy or whatever, I like the fact that you didn't have Casey being the one to try to go after his brother. You know what I mean? Because I knew that just wasn't him. You know what I mean? That wasn't his style. So, but just the fact, and just Rainwater just kind of being respectful of the Duttons and saying, hey, you guys don't have to go anywhere. In a sense, we will respect your family. You know what I mean? And the fact that even Mo at the end was chastising the kids who was knocking over the headstones and whatnot. So I thought that was cool to kind of acknowledge and say, hey, like, no, like, look, they, like, honor these guys. You know what I mean? This was their land. It was their land as well. You know what I mean? We shared this land with them. So be respectful. So I like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You're talking about just for 14, right? 14.
Yeah. So the positive that. All right. So Giovanni, yeah, positives for the final episode.
Well, yeah, that. Yeah, Casey actually, made his little, what do you call it, blood oath or what have you to give the land, because, I'm like they ended up doing a contract later on, but I guess the blood oath was what made it official. I guess it's nice to see that Rip and Beth have moved and are living some like assumed life or whatever with Carter and whatnot. I guess it resolved pretty well. I don't necessarily like. Yeah, I don't like it wasn't like a big, like I thought that the whole Beth and Jamie thing was gonna happen towards the end or something, but that happened like in the middle of the episode, so it kind of like went out gently. So like I don't know. It didn't really go out with a big bang, but it was a good ending for what they had to work with, without no Kevin Costner coming back.
All right, that's cool. Stacy, what are your thoughts?
It was cool. Jamie got dropped off at the train station as he should. Even though how he got there, I was like, okay, whatever. Um, Rip and Beth are together. That's all I asked for, really. The wolf found a home, I guess, as well as Casey and the rest of them.
Is the wolf
Um,
real or is the wolf imaginary? I still don't know.
he is
The
real.
wolf.
You were
Yeah. What
Anything
else?
else?
Hmm. Oh, girl back, right? Even though that scene went way too long. Ryan,
Oh
he was,
yeah.
he got his girl back. We'll talk about that. It's not a positive, but I had questions. Anyway, so we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think it was a good ending overall. But yeah, there's a few things I would tweak.
We all got tweaks. That's why we're on this channel because we're much better writers in some cases. Elsa Dutton's return, was perfect to me. Like when we saw 1883, like, and the way Taylor wrote that, he knew he knew what he was gonna do when the Yellowstone ended, and I thought that was awesome. I was waiting for her, especially when they did the grave site again, and Mo showed up, and all the tombstones were turned over, and Elsa's was the first one that they pulled up, and then they showed John's name. I was like, this is what I was waiting for, and for her narration was awesome. It was touching and kind of spoke. I really I felt that should have been the end, like we should have just saw Casey and his family and Beth and her family, like, but Elsa is the voice of the Duttons, and she's like, it continues, like, someone stewards the land, you can't ever really own the land, and it will all, and that's the process, and then that should have been the end, and I would have been like, that's awesome.
but
What's
you
up?
can't really do that because not everyone's seen 1883. So then they'd be like, "Who's this woman?" Like, you know what I mean? You know what I
Well,
mean?
but
So,
even then,
and it will take it away from the people who haven't seen it. Just be like, okay, I don't know who that strange voice is right now, but okay, what's going on with Beth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hear you, but I know there's people at work, a lot of people at work who watch Yellowstone. They have not watched 1883. I think I can only talk to one person about 1883, and that's it. So
I completely agree with you, and I thought the same thing. And I was like, if you had saw this and you're like, all right, I gotta go back and watch 1883 for the
right,
context, you will be pissed because you will watch all of 1883 for the last 5 minutes to give you the context.
I hear,
that's a good point. It's at the very end. So even if you watch like the first 8 episodes, you would still be like, the hell's going on?
you have to get to the end to get to the end to be like, wait a minute. But then that goes to, because one of our team members, she didn't watch it either. So she was like who, like, why is this so important? I'm like, this is important. Like, and because it does kind of sum it all up. But for us who are committed to the Yellowstone universe, like you would have been like, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And instead of seeing that, like the wolf thing, which they kept on doing as a positive, Elsa, I would have looked. Okay, never mind. That's a tweak, and we will get to that. We'll get to that. So I thought the fact that Casey again continued the family tradition was good. I felt like he should not have been on the Yellowstone. I feel like Beth and Rip should have been on the Yellowstone. Rip, positive. Rip being the only one who sat there with John and like, I'm burying John. That's my job. Not Lloyd, not even Casey. It's me and him. I thought that was awesome. That showed the commitment that Rip had for this man. And I'm not putting no bullshit rose on him. Like I'm digging this hole, and if I gotta do it by myself, and I want to do it by myself.
What he said to John when he buried him was more pervy than anything I've ever seen in Landman. So I'm going to love her the way that she loves you. I'm like, but that's
like some Eve Bayou type stuff, like
Don't take away from the moment. Don't take away from the
Jamadi,
moment.
I was thinking the same thing for a second. I was like, I don't think he meant the way it sounded.
That's what y'all got from that.
Unfortunately, yes. I was thinking like, then you're just like hugger, you're like you're a good daughter,
fearlessly. And like I will that's like I will whatever, but he already had so to your point, it was kind of unnecessary because if there's one person that John knew would be there for Beth, it's Rip. Like that was never in dispute that he would not stand by this woman. But I hear you. I hear you. But I thought that was awesome. That was very, very Rip for that. And Ryan, to your point, like I was like, he has a girlfriend. Like all last episode 13, I was like, where's his girl? Like what happened to that? And then it's like, oh no, they're back together again. And I was like, oh, okay. So everybody has a future. Everybody has a place, and then it made sense. Everybody made sense. Jamie
Lloyd?
Finally dying made sense.
What is
Lloyd? I want to say Lloyd just a wanderer now.
Well, no, Lloyd said I thought he said I'm staying on the Yellowstone. If I can't teach these other cowboys how to cowboy, then I'm not going to cowboy. Is what he said.
Yeah, he said he was going to some ranch where they don't basically cowboy, where it's just like for show or something like that. Because he was like, if I can't do it here, then I don't want to do it anymore.
New York. I know. If you can't cowboy,
that was a tweak I wish they made though. I mean, like they showed pretty much where everyone was going. Like they showed Ryan. And no offense to Ryan, but they showed Lloyd a whole lot more than they ever did. Yeah. Like matter of fact, a lot of people even forgot the dude's name was Ryan probably until like last episode.
I had to look it up on my phone.
Yeah, like everyone knows the name Lloyd, right? So I was thinking like, why couldn't you show Lloyd today? Like you showed like Beth and Rip at their new house, and obviously Casey, obviously they're the forerunner. But if you want to show Ryan. Show what Lloyd's up to now, because now I'm feeling sorry for the dude. Like, is he just going to be is people even going to give a shit about this old cowboy now? You know what I mean? Like, show him like whipping like some people's ass and stuff like that. At least show it.
Well,
other than him talking about he might do that.
Well, to your point, Rip said you always got a place with us, so he should have been with them. Like if you're starting a whole new ranch, you're gonna need hands, and Lloyd is your hand. Like it doesn't make sense that they're starting a whole ranch and don't use Lloyd. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like he should have been there in the bunkhouse that they just made. Like those four should have been together. Would make far more sense. To your point, because he's like, besides the Yellowstone, Rip is the only thing I know. It's the only person that that I would feel comfortable with, right? So if he's not with him, then he should have been with Casey and crew. One of them. To your point, but yeah, I had to look up Ryan before we started this video. I forgot his name. I just knew he had a girlfriend who was a singer, and I was like, "Are we gonna get back to that?" And then they did.
So now he's like her sugar baby. She's just gonna drag him all around town as part of her entourage, or like.
Well, he's a roadie now, so that's what he said. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna be fucking on that bus though, because she was like, "Hey, you want to see how the bus?" But I'm saying, but I think he's a roadie with benefits.
Yeah.
He's a
campaign there.
I wonder if that might seem as a downgrade though, because like this dude, this dude had a badge. He was like doing all the stuff, helping out Casey and stuff like that, and he was like, kind of getting
he was an agent.
And now all he's doing, he's getting the stereo. He's picking up the stereo and audio equipment and stuff. And putting.
Why doesn't he take Casey's job?
Right. Like the livestock is still a thing. The livestock agency is still a thing. So that didn't make any sense.
Good point, Stacey.
That's a good point. That's a paying job, unlike being a cowboy.
With benefits, you can do whatever you want.
Apparently, okay. So we're doing tweaks now. It's not a criticism. It's a tweak. Okay, for me. So I would say it would make more sense that Beth, Rip, and Carter stayed on the land. and that Casey and Monica like left because Casey had a history, and it makes sense. My dad branded me like he told me to abort you. Like, we don't need to be here, right? Like, especially when Rip was like, "Do you want the brand?" He was like, "Fuck no, I don't want that brand." Like, I'm trying to do my own thing, then leave. That makes sense. That makes 100% sense.
I completely disagree. I'm like, Beth was like, yeah, I'm only here because of you. I'm gonna
Right.
sell this thing. I'm gonna be done with it as soon
Thank
as
you,
you
Jamal.
die. She did that. You have Casey, whose family is Native American or indigenous. They're there on the land, so it kind of gives him carte blanche to be there. So it
Right.
makes sense.
I was thinking the same
Again,
thing, Jamani. To me, it made a whole lot more sense for Casey, Monica, and Tate to be on that land, opposed to, like you said, Beth, who never. I mean, like, okay, yes, Casey in the beginning didn't want to be on that land, but Beth was talking about, yo, I'm selling this shit. Like, I'm sorry, no one talked more shit about the land than Beth. Casey, yes, Casey was up there, but Beth was like much more like against it, right? And not only that, like kind of to what Jamani was saying, like you got the bloodline clone, like you got Tate on there, you know what I mean? And as Rainwater kind of said, hey, look, this will be in your family, right? This will be in your family, and then also the Native American connection in a sense, you know what I mean? So that makes a whole lot more sense, and that was why I felt like that was Casey's healing point. You know what I mean? Beth was just more like, oh, it just seemed more like, oh, I'm crying over my daddy now, but then I would stay on the land because I'm sad that I missed him. You know what I mean?
it's not.
It,
It's
did, it
not
just
about.
did, didn't. It just there was a lot of reasons why. I mean, the only
And story wise, we spent like half of this, what do you call it, second half of the season watching them build this damn house.
Yeah.
For them to leave? Nah.
So that's what Stephanie's not here, but that's what she said. She said that every damn episode was like home development. Like every day was like, we're gonna build this house. And I hear you with that. I'm not arguing with that point. My issue is though, Beth in particular, she didn't hate the land, she hated cattling. She said repeatedly, you're losing money when all you're doing is raising cattle. It wasn't the Yellowstone. She was like, this is not a good business model. And then she did the exact same thing at the end of the fucking series, which is stupid.
Oh my God. This MBA, this Harvard or whatever Ivy League MBA woman.
Yes.
Casey had to say, if you sold me that car for $1, do I pay taxes on the dollar that I paid you? Like Casey sitting around reading tax code, but Miss MBA doesn't think like, okay, maybe we can sell the land for less than it's worth and pay less in taxes. Like it just, that scene bothered me. Like I was just like, why is Casey telling you this? You're the smart one. And then Casey said it and he was like, okay, sis, talk to you later. Bye. And she had to figure it out. Like, was he not just gonna say, hey sis, let's just sell the land to Rainwater for $1?
I want to know where the hell did he go when he got in the car at the end of episode 13? Because it looked like he was going somewhere to do something, and
he was going down the street for his house.
He was going to his new house. But again, so two separate things though. Her being a rancher with Rip doesn't make any sense because from season 1, she's like, ranching is a failed business model. We need into meat packing and making burgers. That's how you make money, not raising cattle, Dad.
And when they went to the hotel and they saw like they had branded liquor, I'm like, okay, is she gonna turn their new little ranch project and have branded steaks and do liquor? Like, where's that going?
Nowhere. So I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would, if Rip, who again loves the land, who loved John, it not for John and her, it's Rip. Rip is like, this is my land. This is all I know. Like I was saying, like we could do that, but just to start all over again down the street, doing the same fake failed business model, huh?
But the grass is good, so
I was like, this doesn't make any sense for Beth in particular. And if you could sell the land to a random person, what was up?
She did that for her husband. Because like you said, he don't know nothing else. So what else is he gonna do?
But again, if you can sell the land and still live on it, why the fuck are we moving? Like, you don't have to give all the land, even if you gave it to the Native Americans, which they did. Apparently, you could just be like, we're still living here though, but you run this stuff, and we got this stuff. So, like, even the leaving was unnecessary. Like, if just to do it, I was like, it doesn't solve anything. And what happened to eminent domain? We had this conversation during the Tyler Perry video, because it don't matter who owns it. If the government says it belongs to us, they don't give a fuck about taxes. Like, that land belongs to us, and that's it.
So what happened to the dinosaurs? Like, I thought that was gonna come back.
That didn't come back.
I was hoping the dinosaurs came back too. I was hoping like a little mosquito and a little syrup thing, and you know.
And where's her family? What's the
Like
wife's name?
Monica's family.
Yeah, what happened to her family? She
Well,
was
that's
just
right,
like,
'cause her dad's still alive, right? Her dad.
Yes,
her dad's
and her
still alive.
mama, who's in a wheelchair, but she's alive. So this is my problem with the Native American thing. Like, neither one of these Native Americans made any effort to be a part of the Native American part when they're like, we're taking this land back for our people and we're returning it to what it used to be. They rode off with their white husband / daddy and was like, we're living the cowboy way. And I'm like, what about the Native American thing over here? Like, to your point, like, Tate is the land, to your point, right? It's the Dutton land, it's the Native American land, but none of this is addressed. He's just happy to ride cattle for the rest of his life, like his daddy. Like, what?
we put up with Tate's annoying ass. I'm like, okay, we're putting up with this child because he is the clue to the land and everything. It meant nothing.
Nothing.
And I was like, why is this kid in my face every episode for no damn reason? He's annoying. He was not the key to any of this.
Oh, you thought you were gonna be the key?
Yeah.
We spent 2 seasons. John spent 2 seasons like, all this is gonna be yours, Mufasa. And like, this
and it was his. But you thought, that's right. I forgot that you had a prediction of like, it's gonna be him and Carter. And okay. I forgot that.
I was just joking about that. But
I don't know. It don't sound like you were.
I know what I'm saying. To your point of like, it makes sense because he's Native American. The Native American got the land. That I understand what you're saying.
Through the bloodline, just through the bloodline. But you got to remember, Monica was kind of shunned a little bit for even getting with the white man. You know what I mean? So it's not like I mean, yes, she obviously wanted to even go to that university to teach Native American culture, but she even saw like, oh damn, even that's probably a bad idea. So it wasn't like she was fully involved like Mo and Rainwater. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, she tried to, and then but
Chris, she went full Pocahontas. Like once she found out that Casey killed her brother. Let's not do this. She was like,
what did she do the following season?
What's up?
What'd she do after that?
I'm just once she realized that no, to your point, and I told Sharice this and she got mad. Like, I'm not saying she forgot who she is. That's not what I'm saying. But she chose a side. Like she chose the American side. Like she chose Yellowstone over the reservation. That's a fact. And this ending proves that, is what I'm saying. So, but to the point of storytelling, she could be any random American woman. And with the son and the whole Native American meant nothing in the end. From Casey's family perspective, it really meant nothing.
It does because now they're living on.
I'm like, he wouldn't have had that connection with Mo, and that whole you have two paths, and I realized that I might not be able to save it, but somebody else might be able to save it.
And that's just a business deal, and it means nothing because they could have sold everything to Lloyd for $1. And been done with it. They could have been like, if this is all, because they forgot about the eminent domain. Let's just
acknowledge. So wait. This is the thing that I don't get, right? In the episode, I think Taylor Sheridan, because I watched Landman and last week's episode together, it was like pipes, right? So they got rid of the pipes, so the whole pipeline story is over because they dropped it in the. Obviously, it's not an ocean because it's Montana, but like the lake or something like that, right? And I'm like, what happened with that whole storyline about them trying to, take their land and put a pipeline there? We don't hear anything about that. All it says is, they'll make noise and then we'll make some more noise. But now we have this land, so we're just moving here instead?
Look, yes. they said fuck the reservation. We're gonna move to this new Yellowstone land, and no one's gonna touch this land. But again, the new governor said we're doing eminent domain, and we're taking this land. It had nothing to do with the taxes. He just said this is better for Montana, and they can do that. Taylor forgot all about that, and that the governor even existed. Because when Jamie's driving home from giving his speech, the radio is like, "Oh my God, he's an emerging leader in Montana, and we have a leadership problem now." No, you have a new governor. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, who told Jamie he can have anything to do with this? None of this is addressed. So now it comes down to taxes. If they can't afford to keep the land, but they could have sold it to Lloyd, they could have sold it to Ryan, they could have sold it to Jimmy.
They don't have $1 million. They don't have $1 million. That's how much.
No, that's the price that they came up with, Chris. They just randomly came up with that. They
no, the price was $1.25 per acre or something like that.
They just made that up.
For that to equal up to $1 million, how big is this? Is this ranch the whole United States?
It's the whole all of Montana. Yeah, they run like Montana.
Don't you know, like those little helicopters they dropped on there? You know, you can probably put like five to 10 helicopters. Out, you know what I mean? Like out.
Don't forget, this man flew a helicopter on a daily basis.
Did the president land on his ranch at one point or something? Someone big time. Was it the president or no? That was at a fair or whatever. I don't remember the president landing or something, but it could have been.
No, that was a reservation. That was a reservation.
That's right.
When the president showed up, but the president did show up. It was the reservation though. But I'm like, John owned at least a half of Montana, and was like, this whole ranch, all this belongs to me, and that's why I need this helicopter. And it's like, to your point, Jamani, again, it was just a random price, bro. They could have sold it to what? But even let's put all that aside. When did the development company stop wanting the land? How did that become?
After they got raided, when the police came in and said, "We want to know everything about Sarah."
What's up, Stacey? I see you shaking your head.
I don't know. That storyline just kind of went away, I guess.
It did, right? They just stopped caring. Like, I mean, after that, they never solved the crime. If Sarah had anything to do with John's death, the company never pulled their offer or whatever, or wanting the land. They forgot about the governor, and it just became these people couldn't pay the taxes, and it was Casey that came up with the bright idea to how to pay the taxes, because Beth couldn't figure it out.
A lot of storylines just got dropped because I'm like, we watched Jamie make this whole speech. We don't know what the outcome of said speech was. We just see him come home and get killed immediately.
Well, so the outcome was what his baby mama said, was that this would make you seem like a leader, which again, that's what the radio broadcast was for. But ultimately, he was saying, we're going to begin the investigation. We're going to look into this. And then he got killed. And then no one bothers to come to his house and figure out why he stopped showing to work. And then I love how the cop.
They said it, I guess they set it on fire or something to make it look like he tried to ditch his car. I mean,
yeah, he's running away. He's running away.
Running away because I guess he was implementing. Talk about, if you want to talk about some tweaks, or
what's up, Chris?
This is straight up criticism at this point. God damn, fucking death, man. But like,
use your words.
I'm trying to without exploding right now, like Orion. Okay, so. So Beth, I don't know if Beth got her like Sherlock Holmes type shit, right? For starters, I don't even know how she could even predict that, for one, that Jamie was going to be home in time, that Britt was going to come back an hour later, and coincidentally he'll come in right before, to save her life, right? Let's put that craziness aside, right? I love a decent fight scene like no other, right? And if it was like different characters or whatnot, I'd be like, yo, that was a decent fight scene, man. I was like, yo, that was like that. They Live, like the infamous scene with Roddy Piper or whatnot in the alley. He was trying to force to put the glasses on. I was like, okay, that's good, but I'm sorry, man. I know James is not the strongest dude in the world, but we've seen him choke the shit out of over quarter, right? I know Beth is tough.
I'm like, Rip wasn't there to stop him when he did that to the reporter.
I know, but also I've never seen a jail scene with Beth doing push-ups. All right, I haven't seen Beth doing that.
I said I need a backstory. She been through some things or something.
It's just a lot of stuff, and I'm sorry. At the end of it, people are going to probably hate me for saying this, but I felt fucking bad for Jamie. Right? I felt bad for Jamie in the sense like he's the one that gets knocked off, but the actual people who did it, like they don't get nothing. If anything, the dude just gets threatened and get like maybe a gun popped in his head, whatever. And I'm thinking like, no, those are the true criminals, not Jamie. Yes, Jamie's was upset and he said something like, let's be real. We all said the most horrible shit you could say, probably to about a loved one, not in their face, but like just like he wasn't in his face about him. It's like, yo, I wish you were dead, or say something crazy, right? You'd be lying if you said you haven't done that once in your life, right? And he felt horrible about it. Yes, he would benefit from that as well. But bro, they made it seem like he was the biggest fucking villain out of it all.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, during that fight scene, oh my God, I was rooting for the bad guy. I was like, yo, I know Jamie's going to die. I know Jamie, but maybe there's a 2% chance that won't happen.
The 2%, that was the milk. But when I saw that scene, I was like, this looks like a horror movie. The way that they have the music and the way that they're showing it, they like reversed the roles. It was like the killer was Beth and Jamie was like the damsel in distress. I got pepper sprayed. I'm trying to put milk in my eyes so I can see the fight, and they're running and away and grabbing the legs of the other person.
Come on, isn't yours the AG? Like this dude. Okay, I'm sorry. I got a couple cameras by my house. I'm not even that. I ain't even famous like that. Cause I got YouTube famous, right? Like, yo, are we transported like 30 years ago and they don't have no cameras? Like all this stuff that like people got to have door cams, neighbors or whatnot. Like this, I'm sorry. There's so many things that I was just yelling at my screen during that whole thing. Like even when Jamie was walking away and opening the fridge to get that milk. By the way, he got a shitload of milk cartons. By the way, you know what I mean? Just convenient. But the whole time she's open, I'm like, I've seen this horror movie before. He opens up the fridge, and first time he closes it, oh shit, she's not there. Second time, I was like, okay, here we go. I'm sorry, but the beatings that Beth was kind of getting put on, there's no way she would have still been walking. There was just no way. Some of the stuff that was going on to her, yes, I know she was putting some licks in too, but that was just freaking insane. And
it was too much.
It was just way too much. And you can't tell me after the whole murder investigation that they were going into for was it Sarah or not Sarah?
Yeah,
Sarah. Yeah. You can't tell me they didn't have like someone parked outside that house watching James' house, like a while, like as if you got old boy in the agency or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of things was just very, very convenient for Beth.
Let me ask you a question, right? All right. Beth said, I'm gonna be the last thing you see before you die, right? And she stood to what she said, right? But why would you then pepper spray the person before that so that they might not have the vision to see you when you go to kill them?
And all that was bear mace on top of that. It wasn't just regular pepper spray. It was
bear mace.
Bear mace. So his ass wouldn't have been able to see for the next day or so.
Knowledge right now. How stupid is that? You blind the person and be like, open your eyes. Look at me.
Can you see me?
I can't see, bitch. I got bear spray in my eyes. I can't see. What the fuck are you doing right now? That's how. Oh, Stacy, what you got? I know you got Beth. I know you got Stacy, but I know you got Beth and Rip behind you. What you got?
I just need a backstory. Like after she graduated college, did she go to like MMA training? Like what happened to Beth that a concussion and broken ribs is like a walk in the park for her?
she
No,
went to
right.
finishing school. How do you think
No,
she paid for
no,
college?
wait.
She's
Another
about
one. I got another one. I got another one,
One
right?
explosion, and now she's invincible. You know what I
Don't
mean?
worry. I got another one, right? All right. She says, no, I can't take the pain medication. You know, I don't want to get addicted to the oxycodone or nothing. But pour me some liquor all into this cup, and then that's my painkiller. I'm like, so liquor's okay, but the pharmaceuticals aren't.
Well, that's her
Yes.
character.
But
That was supposed to be her character.
I'm gonna
So,
say
like,
this: if Beth is that tough, I'm starting to think that she should have been the one that was trying to try to save Carter, not Kobe. Like, because it sounds like Beth would have survived that kid.
you know,
Beth would have survived
That's a
that
good
kid,
point.
and what we just saw.
That's
this
a good
episode,
point. That's a good
Kobe
point.
would've- y'all just sacrificed the only black dude on the ranch. Just you
Right.
know, y'all could have put Beth in that joint. It should have. Let's be real. It should have been Beth anyway. Like that's your adopted son.
Son,
Like,
right? Yeah.
You know,
so,
you take that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're walking that off? Like you just got kicked in the head. Like,
She'd be like,
oh, and then she'd be like, oh, it's just a normal Wednesday. Now give me some
I'm
baby.
gonna go schedule me a massage.
It's
Yeah.
only a flesh wound. It's only hey, Chris, thank you for saying what you said about the people who actually killed fucking John, because I've been screaming that for like 3 or 4 episodes. Like, no one gave a fuck about the people who actually killed this man. Casey made no effort, as you said, to find these people, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense, y'all. He hunted down everyone who attacked his family and kidnapped his son and killed them in the streets because he's a livestock agent. What? He was murdering people and just went home. And now they killed his dad, and he's like, I'm just a cowboy. What else you want me to do?
I ain't really like him like that, no way.
But no. This makes no like the last 2 episodes should have been him finding and killing every one of those dudes with his special ops friend that we only saw once on the phone. Like, no sense.
Right.
No
Or at least have Beth. I mean, because that's the thing too, and this is what makes Beth like. I mean, yes, I know she's already a flawed character, but it makes her not really look good as a character herself, in the sense that, for one, her very last words to her dead father is like, I will avenge you. Like, if you truly wanted to avenge him, go after the people who was actually responsible for it. No, that is your personal vendetta. Your personal vendetta is always about your brother. Ever since, yes, he took you to a clinic, and it was something, you both were kids. You both were kids. Yes, both were stupid, and he did something that he thought was the benefit. I will always argue that about James, right?
Yes.
Like, he thought that was good for his family, you know what I mean, and tried to think that, like, you know, trying to protect the name, you know what I mean, and you went along with it, you know what I mean. You went along with it, and since then you wanted him dead, you know what I mean. So I just thought that was even a waste of a last statement to your own father. Like, to I forgot who said it. Was it? I think it was you, David, that basically said Rip had the best going away speech.
Oh yeah.
To John. To be honest, I mean, it should have been one of the kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of get that Casey couldn't really say anything, because Casey obviously was doing this when it came to his dad. You know what I mean? So I understand that he's not much for words, but Beth definitely is. And I thought she was going to say something meaningful, and literally it's like, I will avenge you. I'm like, oh snap! This is turning into a V for Vendetta / Batman film now. Okay, all right, here we go. I was like, this is what we're going to do. And it was just like,
now you have to die.
Yeah, and then it's just, I'm going to avenge you, but only the person who I don't like. And you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just, I just that pissed me off. You know what I mean?
Also, so this where it goes to Sarah. At the minimum, Beth should have killed Sarah, because Sarah's the one who actually ordered the hits, and she also whooped her ass. And I mean, it's so many reasons why she wanted to kill Sarah, but I'm gonna start with the bitch who actually ordered this shit, right? Like, I'll take care of Sarah, right? And also, just notice how the cop is asking Beth, do you have any physical evidence to confirm anything that happened to you? Because I'm just a detective. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, go inside, look for this. Oh yeah, look for the offshore accounts. That's how they pay for it. Anything else? Anything else you want me to do? I'm like, God damn it, these people are.
Yeah, there's a USB in my purse. It has all the footage of everything. Like, what?
Hey, but off camera, I got the footage of the guys who walked in and killed my dad, because I'm the only one who went through the security cameras at the governor's house, and I found that shit. Just to let you know, Also, the same police force who thought someone getting shot 5 times in a car, 4 times in the chest, 2 times in the head, is a carjacking, right? Are not the ones that are going to figure out and solve any kind of crimes. Like, so let's just get that out there. Like, these are not the ones. These are not the ones. Like, you got to do everything yourself because like these guys were absolute idiots. I was like, come on. And then John's death, bruh. Can we say it together? No one found any evidence to confirm Casey's theory that he was held down, that he was. No one found that injection point between the toes. None of this is looked into. None of it. Like,
Casey said it was a murder, therefore it was a murder. Like, what else do you need? Livestock commissioner said this. Okay.
That's it. That's it. Casey just called this dude. It was like, yo, he got killed. Thank you, sir. Anything else? And then Casey gives up the badge. The badge runs Montana. The badge runs Montana. You are shitting on John at this point because John was like, you're going to be livestock agent. And then that will prep you for governor. And he's like, no, I don't want any of this. I just want your land that you worked for and told for. I need that though. But everything else, Dad, fuck you. I don't need your brand. I just need the land that you fought for and died for. But nothing else, Dad, because I don't want anything to do with you except for all this. Fuck you, Casey. Fuck you. Like, John should have came back and smacked the shit out of Casey and be like, you couldn't even avenge me, ex special forces. You killed 2 random meth dealers for assaulting a young woman on a reservation, but you couldn't avenge me.
I'm like, I really predicted that Monica was going to be pregnant, but they didn't actually say it. But I'm like, I think Casey thought it in his head and was like, I can't do anything too risky with the baby on the way.
Again, Jamani, livestock commissioner. There is no risk. He has complete immunity. If he would have walked into the governor's mansion, at the state house, if he would have walked to the state house and shot Jamie in the head in front of all those people, he still would have went home because he would have been like livestock commissioner.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, that's only a step higher than Beth slapping around his whole office every week.
Yo, no one. Jamie is lying his ass off to be like, I don't know who Sarah is. I wasn't eating her pussy on my work desk or anything. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Your assistant on a regular basis heard you getting those draws. She heard that. And she saw you get your ass whooped on a regular basis. So when he just comes up missing, no one's going to talk to her to be like, anyone have a problem with Jamie? Beth Dutton. Beth Dutton showed up once a week and whooped his ass right after he licked down Sarah. So look into one of these, how you want to put this together, but you might want to investigate what's going on here. I'm sorry, Ryan. What's up?
Whatever happened to the girl from Your Honor snitching?
Yes.
That never happened.
We said that made no sense because it went out to the media anyway.
Immediately.
I just knew. I was like, okay, eventually maybe the last episode they'll nothing.
Nah. Because I was like, what are we doing with this? Like, she didn't even show up. Like, forget the fact that she said nothing. She didn't even show up. Wait a minute. Because the governor was supposed to be at the funeral. I want to say and then
she was at the funeral because she was like, I'm wearing the tightest dress I could find in Your Honor or whatever.
That's what happens when a man writes a script. This is what happens when a man writes a script. My husband was dead, and then I started fucking you. Now you're dead. I'm not wearing panties, John. I just want you to know that. I'm about to be buried next to my wife, bitch. I don't need any of this. You know, in the afterlife, his wife is like, what the fuck, John? This bitch shows up to our ranch with no drawers on? I'm whooping your ass for all of eternity. I can't. Beth was right. You're not going to disrespect me by fucking this woman on our ranch. Baby, I'm sorry. I missed you. That's what we needed to see. That's the post-credit scene I needed to see. I want to see young John.
I thought about the same thing you're saying, and I went back to like the first episode in my mind. I was like, when she put on like that bathrobe or nightgown of his wife's, and I was like, that got to have been on the back of that door for like 30 years.
Yes. disrespect. I mean, just disrespect. I mean, if Beth would have heard it, she would have been like, "Whore, get out here. I knew I shouldn't have invited you. I tried. But you're trying to sexually seduce my dad and he's dead? What the fuck are we doing right now?"
Well, at least they didn't bring the bacon back. What's that shit?
Oh, Summer. She's still at the airport because she don't have any
That's what
money.
I'm saying.
She's still at the airport. So like, how's she flying home? Where's
She's
she
like
flying to?
Tom Hanks in that movie. Was it Terminal or whatever?
Yeah. Remember, he just hung out in the airport. She's still at the airport. That would have been Lloyd she ends up with Lloyd because both of them are single. So if she would have been with Lloyd, I would have been like, but yeah, her young assistant, the trans woman, she never showed up. Like she should at least been at the funeral. She was hardcore. What's up, Joanne?
You know what would have been the biggest fu to Jamie that Beth could have done even after Jamie was dead? He could have went to his ex-girlfriend's house, shot her, and then just raised his baby as her own.
Damn.
That would have been ruthless. Ooh, yeah, too much. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry.
He's like, Dad, you're talking crazy now. Hey, but you know what, Chris? I like it. I think we actually said this earlier in our reviews that we're like, what if Beth snaps, right? Kills baby mama and just takes the baby. Like you said, the baby don't know any better, right? Because Beth now has a family. And she's like, no, we need a little girl. No, it's a son.
And that's what happened with Jamie. Jamie was just like taken after his father, like after his mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's like, we got a new son, Rip. So I know what they were trying to do, but if they're gonna go this far, they should have showed Rip and Beth on the horses riding into town. Because the whole point is to bring it back to season 1 when she's like, she's scared, she can't get a horse, that kind of shit. Like that, if we're gonna do it, then they should have did it, and that would have made more visual sense, that kind of thing. Because I'm assuming that was the point of that she's no longer fear, she's fearless now, and she's like her mama or something. I don't know.
She doesn't wear pants.
She
never wears pants. Like, how's she gonna ride a horse?
Bet.
Mm-hmm.
She wore pants to the fight.
Yeah, she put on jeans and went out there, and she took off the dress and the heels, put on jeans, and then
she took off more stuff when she lost to a game of cards to Taylor.
Why is that even necessary?
Are we? Can we get to episode 13? Fuck episode 13. Fuck Taylor Sheridan. Like,
as a staff in a record label.
Fuck him as a record label and the motherfucking crew. If you were Taylor Sheridan, fuck you too. I was like,
that's what happens when you let your director producer be all in the videos, all on the TV screen.
There you go, Kim. I mean, Stacey. Sorry.
Stacey got that shit. I was like, you're absolutely, y'all. I know y'all also too. That was the most unnecessary shit I've ever fucking seen. I'm like, the strip poker scene. He even shitted on Beth as a character, and I was like, he made Beth this like larger than life, smarter than anyone in the room character, especially men. But when he writes his own scene with her, she's like, oh my God, tell me again how you sell horses. Man, I want to fuck you, but I can't because I'm with Rip. But if I could, I would. Excuse me. Please tell me how you sell horses. He's like, oh, I didn't get any of that. Thank you, Mr. Taylor Sheridan. What the fuck are we doing? Like, what? Why is any of this happening?
I think, no joke. I mean, if they do decide to do a 4/6s, that was a smart episode to do because it'll be a great introduction. If anything, after watching that kind of would make me want to watch a 4/6 show. It's like if it's that let's think about it. Everything else, if you did not watch episode 13 and then you just heard, hey, they're doing a show about the 4/6s, you're gonna be like, damn, it might just be really boring because every single time they show the 4/6s, they just wearing little red shirts and just got stuff. It didn't look like there was any real drama, just like in Yellowstone in the trailer. They showed there was drama between John and Jamie and and Casey and whatnot. 4/6s, you ain't getting any of that. But you watch something that you're like, okay, this looks like it could be an entertaining show, Especially with them throwing in, those mafia dudes? Not mafia. What were they like? The Russian? What were they?
Colombians? They were the Brazilians.
Brazilians. Yeah. that stuff. I'm like, oh snap! And then all of them, maybe one of them be like, they could show a cartel in one episode trying to buy horses. You know, that's the easy way of actually getting real drug mules, literally. You know what I mean? And like that could be interesting. But if we didn't get that episode, we didn't know that it could be that lit. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying.
My problem with that is that Taylor made himself a god in that episode.
You're
Like,
mad about Taylor and what he did to Beth. I'm like, he shitted on Jimmy so hard. I mean, he's like, put on your seatbelt. No, not you, Jimmy, because we don't care if you live or die.
well, no. That's Jimmy. Like, that's his. Jimmy has had as we talked about, he's had the longest character arc in this series. Like, you would think the series was about Jimmy, but like he gave Jimmy, he was the only one in Texas who gave a fuck that John died, that found out that John died, and was like, and he gave him a moment, right? But he always just, if there's a spinoff, he's gonna continue to shit on Jimmy. So I wouldn't go so far to say with that, but Taylor's character ruled everything down there. There is no conflict with him. There is no, someone's out is besting him or he has a problem. Like, he's always in charge no matter what the situation. And I'm like, that's not a show.
But I'm like, if you were looking at the Yellowstone from the outside looking in, you'd be like, John Dutton, he has a helicopter and all this stuff.
Great. When I first saw the trailer for Yellowstone, it didn't look like John Dutton had that many issues either. So I'm just, until I watched it, and I was like, oh snap, oh no, John got some serious issues. I mean, they could do the same thing with Travis's character, you know.
I don't think Taylor will allow it. I mean, if someone else, if a third person was writing it, I would go with you. But if Taylor's writing,
you think he got that much of an ego? You think he got that much of an ego that he ain't going?
Have you seen Lioness? Yes,
no,
yes, he does. Yes,
okay.
yes. He is OP in that one too. Like he. So that's what he does. But to our point. Up until now, he's been a background character, and I really respected the fact that he wasn't always front and center, right? Even though it's his show. And like, for this to be the end of a series, he took over the entire thing, and it meant nothing overall. I mean, on top of that, it meant nothing. When he goes up to Yellowstone to sell off everything John has ever owned, they don't even acknowledge him. Like, we are here because our governor / the owner of Yellowstone is dead. There's just people buying horses at a discount. Like, they're just like, oh wow, this is everything must go sale. I'm like, there's a reason. Like, it was just, and he rode a horse in a circle like 10 times that episode. Like, I never want to see him do that shit again. I don't even understand the purpose of it. Like, I was like, why are we doing this silly shit? I'm like, I get it. You can make a horse do this. He did like 7 times, and just in that one episode. I was like, I don't need that shit. I need Casey to find the people who killed his dad and kill them. That's what I need right now.
I understand it, but I'm saying if you're trying to do a spinoff, like that's how you lead into a spinoff show. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
No. I hear you, and that's what I thought he was doing. That's why I was like, oh, you're prepping the spinoff. Because you saw his house, you saw the other people, like they expanded the ranch. I hear you. I'm not, and then Teeter's joining, right?
No, all right. I'll put it to you this way. What's his name? Travis, right? Travis was there for Rip and Beth. Now something is gonna happen to Travis, and Rip is gonna have to come and be there for Travis, which is what gets them in the spinoff. So it's just a favor for a favor.
That would be an interesting thing where like something maybe like Travis can't. Travis falls off a horse like Jimmy did, and then Rip has to take over. You won't just take over.
Oh, you want to take over?
You know, but yeah. All right. So so Ryan, all right. Is that what you think? Okay. So he thinks Rip's going to be the new Travis over for the Ford Fixes, and he's going to bring Lloyd back too. You think Lloyd going to come back for that? You think so? Okay.
He give you 5. He give you 5 in your face. He's like, "Stop lying, Dad. Stop lying." Yeah. No, boom. But okay, Stacey, what do you think? What would a spinoff look like? What would you like to see?
I honestly don't know. Unless Beth magically grows a uterus and they have a baby some type of way. I don't know. I really don't know.
Just like Fatima, just all of a sudden just give birth to a random little baby. I'm sorry, different show. Sorry.
That's different show. Well, okay, so let's look. I think as much as we do. It's like Stacey. I love Rip and I love Beth, but they're good side characters. Like it's like Tom. You put them full front and center. It's too much Beth, and Rip doesn't really have a lot of range. I mean, what makes him great is that he's consistent, and you cannot have 60 minutes of him just brooding and riding horses and punching people. Like that's not a show. Like you need character range, and he doesn't have.
No, I'm like Texas Ranger was on for like.
He's gonna be livestock commissioner. Yes, Rip Fitz livestock commissioner. Yes.
Yes, that would be awesome. That would be awesome if he's. But you need to flush him out. You need to have. It can't just be him and Lloyd
He
again.
doesn't even have a birth certificate, so I don't think that would work.
Remember? And he's never left Montana. He's like, there's a border. There's something outside of Montana. Yes. I was like, damn it. I was like, it's like again, we thought Tommy was gonna be it, but once you get 60 minutes of Tommy, you're like, I don't need that much Tommy. I don't need that much. Like it's too much. It's too much. Like he needs something to balance him out. And he looks up to Taylor. That's his name?
Travis.
He looks
like, yeah, because he's telling the stories about how Travis is there, getting his ass whooped right along with them in bars and stuff. So I'm like, and Travis is the one who always comes out,
on
looking
top.
the best in every story.
So I like the idea. I like the idea though something happens and they have to come help, like maybe for a little bit, but then I think they would just take over the show and then you would feel like it became Yellowstone again. Like John, okay, let's say Kevin Costner came back. How do they end Yellowstone? Kevin Costner, how would you have ended it?
Is he back for the whole second?
Yeah. How would you have ended it? Jemani.
It's one of those things where it's like he has to die. I'm like, he comes back, but still dies at the end.
Yeah.
I think it would be a matter of, we got to stop Jamie, because that was the last conversation that he was having with Beth and whatnot. So I think it would be a matter of taking down Sarah, then taking down Jamie, and then, I don't know, a year, we flash forward a year and a half later or something, John, chokes on a chicken bone or something like that and dies. And then we have them, the same thing that we have now where the land just goes back to the reservation.
He chokes on the chicken. How about he actually gets real cancer from all the beef, and he dies legit cancer this time. Like it's not an ulcer that no one can figure out. But Stacey, how would you have ended it?
He would have had to die. I kind of wanted it to be, and this doesn't make sense for his character, but I wanted Rainwater to have been orchestrating like all of it. Like he was behind the whole assassination attempt or something. And he's like, yes, I got my land back. And I did what I had to do. Either him or that little lady, lawyer, native lady.
Came back?
Yeah. I needed her to I wanted them to been pulling the strings.
I'm like, I agree. I'm like, in the first seasons, Rainwater was so aggressive and assertive. In the last couple seasons, he's just really passive and taking a backseat to everything, and things just happen for him, or it's not like he's an active participant in any of this.
Guys, it's 3 o'clock. I gotta go. So I'll see you guys. All right, I gotta put them in bed.
Bye. All right. I agree about the Rainwater thing, especially that one lawyer. Like she was awesome. What is her name? Like she was an awesome character. And I would love to her if she was somehow working with Sarah to say, hey, we'll get part of the land if you help us get it. Like that would have been cool. But you're right, he had to die, guys. Like anyone who's just mad that he's dead doesn't make sense, because then it's just Yellowstone. Like you can't end with him alive. But short of him, I don't mind him being killed either. I don't mind him being killed for the land. I like it's just the aftermath. It's just it's how they treated the aftermath. I didn't like him going out the way he did. He was standing in the way of progress, and they got rid of him. And that does make sense.
You could take that storyline out if he was in the Waffle House or IHOP or whatever again, and he's trying to stop a robber, and he just he just doesn't make it out. And then what the end of the season is about what happens in the aftermath of the sudden death of John Dutton without it being a murder mystery.
So
maybe Rainwater runs for governor or something.
Can you be head of a reservation and head of white man land too?
I was like, real quick. Speaking of that, I actually did not have a problem with the Native American children knocking over those tombstones.
Oh, Twitter was enraged.
See,
And
I was like, did y'all even watch the whole scene? They were like, oh my God, these savages. Da, 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 da. Like, really?
Oh, they got wild.
See, I think anyone says that does not understand history, right? Like this is their land, right? Like Rainwater is crying that the white man allowed him to buy his own people's land back. Like that's bullshit. Like that, those kids were in their absolute right because that is their land, and those white people got that land was taken from them and given to the Dutton family. It's not the Dutton family's fault, but that is a fact. Right, so from their perspective, fuck these people. Like we're finally getting ours back, and so they do have a right to be as mad as they were. I understood where they were coming from that. I thought, and again, Tate would have been. I think that's why Tate would have been a good character to show that sharing of generations and family. To be like, as much as I understand from a Native American standpoint, this is our land. As a Dutton, this is my land too. And I see both points. That he could have been the person to kind of bridge the two communities and that kind of stuff. Like they could have did that, I thought.
And I'm like, you see them basically taking every bit and piece of the house apart of John's mansion and everything. And these are kids. Why would they not think that these tombstones are up for
not up for grabs?
Is it a thing that you don't desecrate graves? I mean, I don't remember too much about their culture or whatever. But.
Yeah, but that's within their culture, not external. Cultures.
Yeah, you don't. You that would be honoring the enemy at that point. I mean, from living on the reservation.
I just thought that was just a thing in general.
Yeah, but so again, to your point, but the house doesn't make sense either. Like y'all need a place to live. Like, what are you gonna do? Tear down and then build a new house? Like that? Like. Who's living?
Yeah, I didn't get there. Like, they're just gonna put animals on the land.
Yeah, I'm like, Casey said, never develop it. So that means you can never build anything
on it.
So that doesn't. Okay, y'all. So thank you. We just acknowledge how stupid how deal this makes because they need to live somewhere. So there's again no houses, no nothing. Again, so they're just gonna sleep outside with the bears and shit. So but at least they have a place to sleep. And the white man government is going to come for that land because when they go, oh, Native Americans live here. Well, that's ours. So, because fuck y'all, like we ever honored you guys. So we're putting a pipe because the pipeline was supposed to go
how does that not fuck them even more? Because it's like, all right, we want to do eminent domain of this now reservation land, right? How much did you pay for it when you acquired it? Let's devalue that amount.
Well, again, eminent domain doesn't matter. None of that matters. Government just says it's ours.
Yeah, they say that it's theirs, but they get a payout for the land. But the amount that they get paid now that they've just bought it at such a low amount will probably be lower than that.
Oh no, but let's go down this road, Chimani. Now Montana can't afford it. That's what it was. Eminent domain, they couldn't afford to pay them. That's what they were saying. We don't have it would bankrupt the state to buy that land. That's what it was. But now it's only $1 million. So here's $2 million. Get the fuck out. Now we're taking all this land and we're developing. That's right. But also, the governor never came back, so Taylor Sheridan just forgot about that whole storyline. But that would have been it. That would have been also to sit shit in episode 13. That was completely ridiculous. Beth said they were one cow away from bankruptcy, damn near. We ain't got no money for anything, and this bitch takes a private jet to Texas. She's like, I don't play around with Coach. I fly private jets, and I have a
her card that she waved in that man's face. Do you have one of these? Remember her and Tita were at the bar messing with those men. She's like, do you have one of these?
Oh,
she put it on her card.
It's funny you should bring that up. I just fast forwarded. I was so mad about that Taylor Sheridan bullshit. Thing. When they went to the bar, and I was like, I just fast forwarded to the end because Jemani was like, David, the end is gonna make this all come together. I was like, fuck, I do not need to see Beth one more time talking down a man. I do not need to see this shit again. Also, again, when she went up against Taylor wrote this episode that when Beth talked to him, oh my God, tell me again.
Take it off. Okay. No matter. Right? You like, her best friend.
I'm gonna show you all these titties. But in the same episode, she's like, look here, man, I'm smarter than you. You ain't not Travis, though. She has to look down at Travis. Like
Travis cut the check.
Also true. How did you do it, Travis? He's like, look. How do
you get people to overbid on a horse? But
come on now. As many land deals as she's done, we've seen her do multi-million-dollar deals, like on a regular basis without even thinking about it, but she can't figure out how to sell a horse. She's like, and Rip is just gonna be okay that his wife almost stripped for one of his best friends. Like he ain't.
She ran out naked. I mean, they weren't together then, but she ran out naked. Like, was it season 1 when she was?
They were not together.
I know, but they were still.
But she was unstable. But that was when she was unstable and drinking and shit. You know, like But to your point,
unstable.
Huh?
She's always unstable.
Well, I mean, she was really like on pills. Yeah, she was. But
she doesn't eat. Have you ever seen Beth eat anything? It's cigarettes and alcohol. That's it. Even Olivia Pope had popcorn.
At least. And she's skinny. You're right though. I felt the Beth was doing too much, and this somehow again not enough. Because I'm like, what? We never. I just wanted those guys killed. I just wanted that to mean something. I wanted them to make. She never went to John's house and cleared out the governor's mansion of anything. Like she went through Kobe's like bunk and like, oh, you get the hat, and they continue to honor Kobe in episode 13, which I like. They'll still like again what happened to him and that sort of thing, and I like that. I really do like that. But John got nothing.
No, he doesn't get anything because it's still a crime scene. Remember, they were about to, let's just say off camera, they were about to turn the house back over to the family. And then Casey said, no, it's a homicide. And then it became crime scene again.
Again, you're implying that they do criminal investigations, which obviously they don't. Because they're like, hey, because Casey just told them what to say. Hey, my dad was murdered. I need everything in the house. Yes, sir. Anything else? Find the people who killed my dad and deliver them to me. Thank you. Boop. And that's it. And then livestock agent can start killing. This episode was horrible. Beth was insufferable. They needed Kevin Costner as the lead.
Insufferable though.
I wouldn't go that far.
Take it a little bit far though, but it was just like, when did you have time to plot this whole thing out?
Yo, as she was putting on her jeans, she was like, "Oh, you know what? I got it.
Oh yeah, best friend. Oh yeah, knife. Okay." What?
I would let him whoop my ass to the point that I'm evidence, but you're gonna take the body.
And I'm like, they purposely showed us the bins in front of the house. How does he not know what his sister's car looks like?
Right. He's so impressed with the radio statement about how good he did on his speech that he didn't pay attention across the street. And to your points that his house should have been under surveillance because they thought he killed Sarah. And like again, that wasn't a thing. And it's like, how did they roll his body out of there and to take it to the train station?
That is something like you see Lloyd comes with his car and then Rip goes with his, right? So I'm like, Beth called 911. How did Lloyd get there if it took Rip an hour to get the body out before 911 came?
Again, Montana Police Department. They just said, "What do you need us to show up?" They're like, "Give us an hour." Okay, sir. Boop, and that was it. And they're like, "We'll call you when we're ready." As we talk about, Beth is like 100 pounds, maybe. There's no way in the world that she actually fought Jamie for real, and he was like overpowered by this little woman. No, like that would have been 2 punches. Hey, Jamani, as we saw in as we saw in Lioness, right? Zoe punched Kyle, Kyle punched Zoe, and that was the end of that. Because of course, right? Like that's how that would have went. Like I'm not sure why we're acting like this is a mano a mano type of
No,
thing.
but what I'm like is,
I said Bethany get her ass kicked better than Robbie.
Oh, yo,
Robbie, a grown ass man, can't take a punch.
Woman, old ass man on every lifetime. We'll talk about that tomorrow. What's up?
but I'm like, the fact that she knew the exact amount of time, she's like, you better hurry up because you're a pivotal part of my plan, which
that I didn't tell you about.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, he's supposed to come and save you at exactly in the nick of time of you being strangled to death. Okay.
I got enough bruises that people are gonna believe that my brother, based on my word alone, my brother orchestrated the killing of my father, whooped my ass, and killed his girlfriend on the way out, and he's gonna just leave and never be seen again after he gave a speech about how he's standing strong for Montana and fighting for the rights and freedom of Montana. He's leaving town and gonna burn his car, never gonna see him again. Okay, I guess. I just this don't make any sense. Anyway, we gotta wrap this shit up. That was Jamie's car Lloyd drove. That's why they burned it. Because yeah, he's right, because they drove together. Because
yes, but I'm saying, how did Lloyd get to Jamie's house to get the car?
He was with Rip. Rip said, "Get in the truck." He said, "I know where Beth is going," because somehow he didn't figure that out when she jumped in the car. Like, your wife is distraught, and you don't see her like putting clothes on and grabbing weapons and shit.
No, he waited in a whole hour before he was like, "I know."
That's what he's like. Oh, has anyone
It took
seen
him
my
an hour to figure out.
Oh yeah, she must be going to kill her brother. Like, yeah, bitch. How did you not? He was too busy burying John. He was doing what Beth should have been doing. He's like, after he got done, he's like, "Where's my? Oh shit, my wife. I need to go get her because she off the chain." I was like, "Yeah."
Do you guys find Yellowstone to be like somewhat Shakespearean porn as being to the fact that it's a matter of like you have two adopted brothers and Beth hates one and loves the other, and it just seems all types of Shakespearean and
A scandal.
Yeah. A scandal. Because one, Rip was never actually adopted. I hear where you're going with this though, but the fact that he called him son in the letter, but you're fucking my daughter, that's not okay. And that was when Papa Pope,
daddy-in-laws call their son-in-law son. So
I hear it, but he took it, but he did take it as a daddy though. When he said, "Read it again, baby, read it again," I was like, "This is not okay. This is not okay." And I hear you, but Emma, come on, let's wrap this up.
Question: is Walker still on probation? How's he going back and forth to Texas? I need answers.
He still should be on probation. He still should be on probation. To your point, because he can cross state lines, as you pointed out. But hey, he's singing. It's fine. He got his barrel racer girl. They're gonna be all right.
DC called his parole officer and said, "You good to go."
You know what?
Sure. Yeah.
He should go on tour with Ryan's lady, and then they're both roadies, and then they're like a music duo. That's what should have happened. That's right. They're a new act to bring these two couples together.
That is the spinoff. It's we're gonna do Nashville better.
We're gonna do a musical. Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, Beth actually remembered this. Oh, that's another thing. Stephanie's not here, but she wanted to acknowledge how it was ridiculous that the only college educated character on this show makes no effort to tell her adopted son that you're going to school. because that's how I became the richest one in the room, because I went to college and like this whole cowboy and shit ain't it. So you're gonna go to school, learn something, and be like me. You're not gonna be like that.
No, it's just like, what do I do now? You sleep in. No, not go to school. You sleep in.
Neither Tate nor Carter are doing any kind of education. These dumb fuckers are gonna ride the rain.
Slow. They stay in their slow. I mean, you can't give them
Not everybody's college bound. So I mean, we all acknowledge that Tate has some serious trauma after all the shit he went through. So if he was like, I can't do school again, like I can understand that. I remember when Monica and Casey said the very poor parenting statement, all he needs to know is that's what Monica agreed to. All he needs to know is the Yellowstone, because he's gonna run this place. But if he don't know how to run business, he can't run the place, girl. Like what are you talking about? Like,
well, that's why John was in debt, because that's all he knew was the Yellowstone.
Right.
None of these people knew business.
He's like, my kids, one of my kids will be a lawyer, and the other one will be a businesswoman.
Right. And like no one followed Beth's footsteps. Beth was the only smart one until Casey figured out something. What's up?
The one that went off the cliff. What's his name?
Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying. And like they actually did shit. Like they were actually useful. You know what I'm saying? In the big scheme of things. Especially Tate. Especially like I know Stacey and I have joked about this for a while. Like he needs to have his own like spinoff of just being a vigilante. Like he is Batman in the making. Like and just a Dexter, because he's gone through so much shit.
You can't be Batman until both the parents
he was, and as Chris pointed out, a lot of times he was just doing what he was told, and they just shitted on him for it.
But that's the problem. Just do what you're told.
Yeah, I mean, but with Beth and with John, I mean, really for the most part.
Beth, John, the baby mama, Sarah. Yeah.
I loved how Sarah. Once again, Jamie needed a woman to put him in the right place, to point him in the right direction. And Sarah gave him a great speech and said, "This is what you need to do." And he was like, "All right," and built him up.
Is he writing this down? How is he going to remember this?
Expert memory. And he said it almost verbatim. I'm sure the actor read the script, but it was like verbatim. I was like, you need to bring her back, bro. Like, why is she even fuck around with you? Like, why do all these women who are far more educated, far sexy as fuck,
they need a puppet? They need a puppet.
I guess so. I mean, Sarah, I don't know. And then we didn't ever have to the company. Anyway, we gotta wrap this up. Anything else, Stacey?
Nope.
All right, then we'll see you lovely face tomorrow. Boop. Anything else, Jamani?
I don't know. Like that could be a whole conversation in and of itself. Do strong women like weak men or something like that? I don't
know. No. That's also what was that, Stacey?
Yes.
So they can manipulate them?
Yes.
All right, okay. So it depends on the type of woman I would submit. I mean, I would.
Depends on what her end
game. Every Oprah needs a Stedman.
I feel that's
her end game. If she wants to run the show, she's gonna have to have somebody to take the back seat.
Yeah.
Now, if she wants him to run the show, she needs somebody that she can tell what to do, and he'll do it.
There you go. So she knows she's a woman. I love Jamie. I was like, all right. So, boop, boop. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Tomorrow, we have the agency. We're getting back to that Landman, because apparently the cartel is finally showing up, according to Jamani. So we're gonna see how that goes. And then we're gonna do The Devil's Hour, which is an outstanding show on Amazon. Everything from should be. We'll get more into that. Stacey and I are big fans. Got to take notes. What's happening? Why is it happening? When did it happen? This kind of stuff. Anyway, thank you guys very much hanging out with us. And again, we will see you for a couple more videos. And we're going to do Home Alone. If you weren't in our previous video, we're going to do Home Alone on Monday as our year Christmas movie, as our yearly holiday movie. All right. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching, people in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much.
I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
What do you want to go there?
Oh shit.
Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.